You can do that shit. If you want to start over, start a new family, yo, that is one of the beautiful things about being a man. But the thing is that you got to realize too, there are also men that want to keep this system going where men stay asleep, where men don't move based off their best interest, where they move in the interest of other people. And that shit gotta stop, bro. That gotta stop. But anyway, so Anton finna pull up the receipts real quick.
Care about what the audience thinks. And you know how y'all know that I'm objective? I'm gonna tell y'all how y'all know that I'm objective. The way that y'all know that I'm objective is because I go back and forth with you guys. I fight with y'all in the chat. And what do I say? Don't censor nobody just because they got a difference of opinion, just because they may come at me. We don't block people just because. We fight here. We fight in real life because that's what people do. They argue their point, they argue their differences. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, try to censor people. I don't believe in censorship. Let me say that again for the people in the back. I don't believe in censorship. And I don't pander. I don't pander. So when Brian told me, because I wanted to know, and see, I didn't feel the need to have to show this on a interview. He said what he said. When Brian told me, he said, man, I reached out to them and they act like they didn't want to get the other side of the story. I know that they was pandering to women. I know that they pandering to their audience. That's what you got to do when you're trying to get to the.
That's an important context to add to that whole perspective. How Marc Lamont Hill's carrying on. He's also doing theater, and he also, I feel like he performed. Like it's all like everything he does is like performative. Everything he does, it's like he has to play into this whole character of basically what you saw in the Candace Owens interview. No, I'm sorry, but in the Candace Owens debate, where it's like you're playing a character. It's almost like you're going along with this whole script of, like, for example, like, well, you know, I don't know how to put it, but the only way I could describe this is it's aggressive progressivism, where it's like it's like progressivism or being progressive for the sake of being progressive, not because it's time, not because certain ideas are outdated. This progressive, there was never a need to have men and women's bathrooms, never a need for that. All right, that was never like necessary. That to this day, it has not helped children, has not helped the world be a better place by letting niggas go into a girl's bathroom.
And so that's fair, right? So when you hear them say stuff like this, well, I'm just going to give you the insight on why you should look at it a little bit differently when y'all hearing them talk, okay? Let me continue to play some more.
So he can attempt to be a guest.
Who caught that message?
I want to let Mr. McKnight know I have never received that message. You must have sent that to like the pod page.
He made me
or something. Because if you would have sent that to me, we would have handled that in a heartbeat. You know, I got you singing at my wedding. Maybe you don't know.
Not more.
Why not?
That's usually a tactic, right? When people want to get off of the responsibility of being a reasonable source or a credible person that has conversations about issues that go on in the culture, they'll start to joke. Yeah, man, I'm just singing at my wedding. You know, they do the joke thing, right? Ha ha ha, jokey joke. Cool. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
So, you know, they go in and they do all of the jokey joke. I didn't really know, whatever, so on and so forth. What's the point of having a page if you?
All right, real quick, I'm gonna go ahead. So basically, by this point, they played a sound bite where Joe Budden says, you know, Brian McKnight did an interview on Anton Daniels' show, and then when Marc Lamont Hill, when it's his turn to, how can I say, speak on the subject, he makes it a point to say Anton's name wrong. He calls him Antoine Dodson. I think that's one of the rudest things you can ever do is try to say a name wrong on purpose. People's names are so important. I remember my homeboy, he had this idea for an anime that was about the main character trying to find his name. And it was about the importance of your name and the meaning of names, right? So whenever you do that, first of all, that's not classy. And you already show me from the beginning that you don't have good intentions, that you're not coming to the conversation in good faith. All right. So basically, Marc Lamont Hill tried to front as though he didn't know who Anton was. Bro, we are in the age of receipts. And one thing I love about Anton and CGA, nigga, they pull receipts. So with this one video, if you've been following this guy, if you watch this guy give his commentary, if you care anything about integrity, if you care about the things that make a man a man, you can't listen. Like, you guys see him differently now, bro. So this is a correspondence between Anton and Marc Lamont Hill's people. Marc Lamont Hill had invited Anton to be on his show, Night School.
On October 15th, 2024. First of all, who is Jess Mabley? Who is Jess Mabley? Does anybody know who Jess Mabley is? Anyways, I'm gonna let y'all read it. Good morning. They sent it twice. Because I didn't respond to it the first time, so they sent it twice.
Double text, nigga.
I'm not gonna show you the number. That's not necessary.
Uh-huh.
Good morning, Mr. Daniels. My name is Jess. I'm a producer for Marc Lamont Hill. Marc would like to invite you to join him for an interview on his YouTube program, Night School. Now remember, this was October 15th, 2024. I'm hotter than fish grease. I'm on every fucking platform. I'm doing 100 million views on YouTube alone every 28 days. And Marc Lamont and his team reaches out to me. I didn't respond the first time. They doubled down. All right. Listen, this is the conversation that I want to have with y'all. We're not even going to talk about the intellect part. I'll get to that shortly also.
Let's get to that.
But these niggas is capping, bro. All of these niggas is fake. All of them are fake. I don't know who he is. Who is he? I'm confused. What are you confused about, nigga? I never reached out to you. You reached out to me. I never reached out to them, which is cool. You should reach out to me. When I jump on
You
somebody's
should reach out to
platform,
me.
or when I do an interview, or when I do something, that shit hit. It go viral. Never mind. Let me read it to you guys. There's no need. You see what it is. Good morning. They doubled down. I'm a producer for Marc Lamont Hill. Marc would like to invite you to join him for an interview on his YouTube program. How they got my number, I have no clue. Because I don't just give out my phone number. This wasn't an email. This was a text message.
Goodness, you've had
This
your
wasn't an
surgery.
email.
We're good to go.
This is a text
Thank
message.
goodness you've
okay?
had your surgery.
We're good to
I'd like to
go.
join you.
So I'm gonna leave that there, right? Let me tell you something. When someone will lie with that kind of veracity, I'm sorry, is that the right word? I'm sorry, that kind of intensity. You heard him growling. Let me tell you something right now. Niggas who are into that leftist ideologies and whatnot, the type of niggas gonna sit across from you and argue whether or not a nigga should be able to go into a bathroom with kids and women and stuff like that because you decide today that you a girl. A lot of times, those are awkward people. Right, a lot of times, like those are the kind of people who are very different, and they don't realize that. No, you have a bias because you always sympathize with other freaks. You sympathize with people who are weird and who are the outcasts. And I'm not saying that Marc Lamont Hill is necessarily weird, but I can imagine for a woman, you know what I mean? You may give scaring the bitches type vibes, right? But there was this is a scary thing when someone could just, again, on cue. Because he made it seem as though he wasn't ready for the conversation, and he got passionate. He started going in on Mr. McKnight. Now, half the things he said, we don't know if that actually happened. It sounds believable, and maybe it did. But the conversation was about whether or not, really it should have never been a conversation. Whatever that man wanted to do, men get remarried all the time. But what it is that y'all feel as though, again, black men enforce this shit. The whole black community enforces this idea of black men are not in control of their own destinies, in control of their own lives, their own thoughts. You are not allowed to have original thoughts. And again, the whole know what it is too, and the word even allowed. Like black men have to be allowed certain shit. Fuck that, bro. Fuck that. Remember Scarface when Al Pacino said, "Fuck that." You know what I'm saying? Fuck that, bro. We not doing that. We free thinkers. We thinking for ourselves. Take the effort. Do the knowledge. Do the work. A lot of y'all have not taken the time to form original thoughts and really figure out where do you stand on shit. What are you about? What is your life about? All that shit. You understand? A lot of y'all haven't done that yet. You haven't done that work yet. That's why people were so easily controlled during the Drake and Kendrick battle. I took it back to the John 50 battle. Ja still provide the game more big records and more big hits than 50. Now, they kind of did two different things, right? But if you think about that run from 2000 to 2005, it was a lot of good joints in there, bro. Ja got a solid 45 minutes wherever he at, bro, and that shit gonna go up. He could do holla holla. I don't know the words to holla holla, but I'm still gonna really enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the words to me and you, but I'm gonna really enjoy it. Fuck that. But anyone who had any kind of how can I say common sense, any observational skills, and also consider the fact that let me ask Google. Does Marc Lamont Hill have kids? So, with you being a father yourself, you can relate to the idea of being invested in these people and how it would feel if you put all this work into these people, right? These human beings, and these same human beings turn around and tell the public and tell the world that you abandon us. Mind you, when Brian McKnight's son made a video about their father abandoning them and stuff like that, these was grown ass men. Hold on a second. Brian McKnight's son saying that they abandoned them.
Brian McKnight's son saying that they abandoned them.
Jeez, let me see if I can find a video.
Brian McKnight is going to burn in hell for abandoning his children.
They were coming from a place that was very, hey, it's all good. I just got diagnosed with cancer, but life moves on. Everything's fine. Everything's great. Like, it doesn't faze me at all. And that is not sustainable.
In order to live a life that you love, you have to get rid of the evil and the negativity. Even if that evil and negativity.
Let me see.
Situation with Brian McKnight disowning his other children for her children and their new child together seems to get worse because all the crazy stories are coming out of the woodwork. How about we start here, where he says father of Julia, etc., etc. He only has one child with her. The rest are his stepchildren. He has completely disowned his other kids. He has 3 other kids, including a daughter, Brianna. Oh, and it gets worse. Some of you have been saying in the comment section he had posted recently about his stepdaughter saying, "Thank you for making me a girl dad." He has a daughter. And then this other post. You can pause the video to read the full caption here, but he says, "I couldn't ask for a better daughter than you." I'm not going to pretend like kids are perfect, but there's a lot of smoke around Brian McKnight.
Hold on, let me see something real quick. Okay, alright, fuck it. It's all good.
And I don't think these kids have been that bad to be cut off the way that he's cut them off.
You hear this shit? His daughter sued him. His daughter sued him and took him to court. Again, these 2 boys. I'm gonna let Brian tell the story. But these 2 boys, right? That he had to pay for, right? I'm gonna go ahead and go to the interview real quick. He's gonna tell you in detail everything that went on. Now, you're probably gonna stop here, man, because it's getting late.
I come from the idea of Shakespeare and Poe and Wordsworth and Thoreau and Frost. all the way to Gino Vanelli and Stevie and Marvin. It's about truth. On or about 2015, the oldest son has children of his own. Now, when he had the first one,
More than one.
when he had the first one, the woman he had the children with went on, I think, welfare or something. Now, what I didn't know is when you get that assistance that you're accruing as the father,
Yeah.
you got to pay this back.
They're gonna come back and
They're
get
gonna come back and get it.
Yeah.
His last address after I had moved them out of my house because I couldn't take the weed smoke and all that. But I told him, listen, here's an apartment. It's brand new. I'm gonna pay for it for a year while y'all get yourselves together. You are now 25 and 22.
These are 25 and 22-year-olds. He got them in an apartment. You know how many people will never experience someone paying rent for them in their own apartment for 2 years? But what it is that you have to understand how to help people. When it comes to that's why housing voucher programs will have the people in these vouchers try to get them to get jobs, right? They won't let them do a zero portion. Sometimes it will happen if they don't have a job. It'll be zero, but they'll still at some point have to get a job, and they'll make them pay 30%. Not make them, sorry. They're obligated to pay 30% of what they make. And the idea is that, okay, you're still paying some.